On today's video, we're going to talk about the recent trade rumors coming out regarding Dorian Thompson Robinson, as the Browns might be open to trading one of their four quarterbacks. So, our story really begins with Zach Jackson from The Athletic putting out this report. The Cleveland Browns have discussed a potential trade of second-year quarterback Dorian Thompson Robinson with multiple teams. Two league sources with knowledge of the discussions told The Athletic. The first thing that popped in my head when I read that was trade DTR for an offensive tackle. Now, it might not shape up that easily. Like the teams that are calling about DTR, do they have a good tackle worth trading for? Do they have a tackle they're worth giving or they're willing to give up? But when I saw that, I thought day 3 pick swap, offensive tackle. Like this could be a simple, hey, there are two teams that have a surplus at one position and have a need at another position, and they could help each other out. Team like that could be, without knowing much about their offensive tackles, the Minnesota Vikings. I mean, we saw last year they were willing to trade for a quarterback when Kirk Cousins went down, J.J. McCarthy goes down, and they watched DTR in the joint practices and in the preseason game. The Vikings could be an option, but do they have a tackle they're willing to give up and the Browns would like to trade for? Because the Browns need some help on the offensive line. We all know it by now. Jed Wills, Jack Conklin still on the PUP list, and there's really no clear idea or picture as to when they could be getting off the PUP list. And if they are on the PUP list to open up the 2024 season, they will miss a mandatory 4 games to begin the season. So Jed Wills and Jack Conklin on the PUP list has me concerned with week 1 against the Cowboys being a little over 2 weeks away. The Browns should start to have a little bit of fire beneath them trying to figure out an option at left tackle, because James Hudson last year didn't really give us much inspiring football, and he's dealing with an ankle injury right now. And that's someone who, if he is going to start at left tackle week 1, needs every single possible rep right now to get ready for Micah Parsons and the Cowboys. But going back to the possibility of trading DTR. So far in the preseason, he's 27 for 35, 263 yards and 1 interception after a 2023 season where he appeared in a handful of games, made some starts. My 2 cents on DTR last year, I thought he improved every single game that he started in, from the Ravens game to the Broncos game. So I don't look at those stats as DTR stunk last year. I look at those stats as DTR was kind of just tossed in the fire in his first NFL start against the Ravens, which is probably the worst team to be having like your first NFL start come against when you're not prepared for it at all. And after that, I saw improvements made by DTR, but he was still a 5th-round rookie quarterback, and it showed in a lot of ways. But I thought he had a pretty nice training camp and preseason going into the final game. Like, coming off a hip injury, he was making some nice plays and having some nice throws. So I have more to share on the possibility of trading DTR and what you could get for him. But first, I want to tell everyone watching about Game Time. If you're trying to catch a Browns game, a Guardians game, or any other sporting event in your local area, download the Game Time app today. And when you use code CHATSPORTS, you're going to get $20 off your first purchase. Now, Game Time has so many awesome features, one of them being the Game Time Guarantee. If you find tickets in the same section and row for less, Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference. So take the guesswork out of tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply, but again, create an account and redeem code CHATSPORTS for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. Now, if you're asking yourself, why would the Browns trade DTR and not Tyler Huntley? Like, DTR looked better than Huntley did in preseason week 2. The answer is you're going to get a better return for DTR. He's got this year and then 2 more years left on his rookie contract, whereas Huntley is on a 1-year vet minimum deal. So if a team trades for Huntley, it's a rental for 2024. With DTR, they've got him on a cheap rookie contract for 2 additional seasons. So if they like what they see out of him this year, they don't have to give him a contract in free agency. Whereas with Huntley, he would either be walking or getting another deal. So I think you get a better return for DTR, which is why teams would be more interested in him, even if they are DTR and Huntley really close in evaluations. I think teams are going to be more lured and drawn to Dorian Thompson-Robinson. Now, what could you get for him? Lower, whatever you're thinking. 5th, probably a 6. Josh Dobbs got traded for a 5th-round pick last year. I would say last year Josh Dobbs had more value than Dorian Thompson-Robinson does right now. Like, Dobbs looked really good in the preseason. DTR's looked solid, especially in the first preseason game, but I would say Josh Dobbs, a preseason prince, who, by the way, continues his magic even with the 49ers. If he got a 5th, you're probably looking at a day 3 pick swap with DTR. Like, you send away DTR in a 7th, and you get a 6th-round draft pick back. So they should not, or fans should not have big hopes and beliefs of getting a ridiculous return for him. You drafted him with a 5th-round pick, and you're probably not going to get a 5th-round pick back. Now, Tyler Huntley is another possible trade candidate for the Browns. In his career, he's made 9 starts for the Baltimore Ravens, nearly 22,000 passing yards, 8 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. He even started a playoff game, and it was pretty close up until that 99-yard touchdown by the Bengals in the 4th quarter. But I think the plan for the Browns might be, let's get an offensive tackle for DTR or a 5th or 6th-round draft pick and sneak Tyler Huntley on our practice squad, right? We can release Huntley, likely goes unclaimed, put him on the Browns practice squad. Whereas if you release DTR, remember, when you waive a player, if a team claims them, they pick up their contract. And a team might put a claim in for a guy who's got 2 years left on his rookie contract for a very cheap amount. So I don't think you're getting DTR through the waiver wire, but you're probably going to get Tyler Huntley, and you put him on your practice squad. And now you've got an additional roster spot that doesn't have to be used at the quarterback room, although I'm not opposed to the Browns putting 3 quarterbacks on their 53-man roster. They learned last year how valuable that position is. But at the end of the day, if you take one thing away from this video, let it be this. We are talking about QB3. Every single year, it's Groundhog Day for all NFL fans, not unique to Browns fans, where we read way too much and make too big of a deal out of backups. And then the regular season gets here, and we're like, wow, I can't believe that we wasted so much energy arguing with one another over trading Huntley or DTR, when in reality, 99% chance it won't matter because neither guy will see the field. I know last year was a little bit of an anomaly, but I'm not going to bank on the Browns starting 5 quarterbacks in consecutive seasons. So ultimately, just remember, we are talking about QB3. But with that being said, I will give you guys the microphone to conclude the video. Would you trade Dorian Thompson-Robinson? Let me know in the comment section below whether or not you would trade him. I want to bring on producer Trizzy Trace. Trace, which card do you want to go with to wrap up the show?
I'm going to roll with the 7 of diamonds.
7 of diamonds?
Yep.
I will say the King of Spades.
Come on.
You feeling good? 9 of hearts. 9 of hearts. Okay. That will do it for us on today's show. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we will catch up later.